Thank you so much for purchasing a Try It Yourself box from Vinyl Intentions by Becky. Almost everything you need to create a beautiful rolled flower picture is in this box. Just grab your hot glue gun, some Scotch tape, and a stiff card for vinyl placement, and you're ready to create. To begin, open the plastic bag with all of the pieces. You should see a bunch of pre-cut paper flowers. Set those off to the side for now. 2 sticks to help roll the flowers, and a vinyl sticker for the front of the glass. An 8 by 8 inch square of cardstock will also be in the box. This is what you're going to attach your rolled flowers to. Set the 8 by 8 square, the vinyl stickers, and the frame off to the side. Now, grab your pile of paper flowers. There are 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, that you need to organize into size piles. You should have about 20 flowers per pile. You will now begin rolling the flowers. This is the most time-consuming part of the craft and could take you anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to roll all of the flowers. You do not need to do this all in one sitting, though. Take breaks as needed, as this could be hard on your fingers. To begin, take the first medium flower and place the free end in your non-dominant hand. Mine is my left hand. Put the stick in your dominant hand. Again, for me is my right hand. Place the end of the stick against the end of the cut flower. It helps to make sure that your fingers are just a bit damp, not wet, but dry fingers slip against the paper. Begin tightly wrapping the paper around the stick using your thumb and index finger of your dominant hand to turn the stick and your thumb and index finger of your non-dominant hand to hold the paper. Continue twisting the paper around the stick 8 to 10 times or until you feel like the flower center has become sturdy. If you want, remove the stick and continue to twist the flower around itself until you get to the end. It can take over a minute or 2 to roll each flower, so don't be discouraged if it takes a while. Bend the circle end over the bottom of the flower, the flat part, and set it off to the side. I have found that allowing the flowers to quote-unquote rest and the paper to unroll a bit allows for a fuller looking flower. Use the same technique to complete each of the remaining flowers of this size. As a reminder, it is going to take you 2 to 3 minutes to complete each of the flowers. Don't get discouraged if it seems like it's taking a long time. Let's take a look at this flower rolling process one more time. Once all the medium-sized flowers are completed, you can begin to hot glue each one. Some of the flowers will have unrolled a bit more than you like, but now you can quickly roll them a bit tighter and to your liking. I recommend leaving some a bit loose and some a bit tighter. You do not need to worry about the openings at the bottom of the flower because the paper they are going to be attached to is the same color and you won't see the openings. When the flower is the size you want, add hot glue to the circle end of the flower and stick it to the bottom center of the rolled flower. Hold it there carefully for 5 to 10 seconds or until the glue cools. Set aside and hot glue all remaining flowers. When all medium flowers are glued, begin again with the small flowers and then the large flowers. I recommend that when you begin rolling the small flowers, you should leave about 5 of them unrolled. This will be really beneficial when you get to the end of the project and need smaller flowers to fit into tighter places. When all the flowers are completed and glued, you will begin attaching them to the 8 by 8 inch paper square. There is no particular way they need to be attached. Just use your best judgment and creativity. I do have a few pieces of advice to consider. Don't put 2 flowers that look the same next to each other, even if one is big and one is little. You want it to look random. Space out the large flowers from each other so you don't end up with one side all large flowers and one side all small. Glue all your flowers to the 8 by 8 square. I want to take a moment to point out a specific issue that may occur when you are placing your flowers. Every once in a while, you'll find a small space that is too little for a medium flower and not quite right for a small flower. And one of the things I like to do is find a flower that has petals that extend away from the center. You can use those petals to fit into those small spaces so you have parts of the flower in the area you need to cover without actually needing a separate flower in that small space. Don't use the same size flower in each corner. This makes the corners more obvious and less random. And finally, keep about a 1/2 inch space all around your paper, as this is where the frame will go. Remember when I mentioned that you should leave about 5 small flowers unrolled? Here is the why. See the small areas we have remaining, couple off to the side, some in the middle? These are here because I didn't have an appropriately sized flower to use. But because I kept some flowers unrolled, I now have the ability to make them the size that I need. By rolling them tightly and gluing them in that size, I can use them in the smaller areas. Rolling the flower and letting it rest a little allows me to place the flower into a bit bigger area. There isn't a right or wrong way to do this, but our goal is to cover as much of the 8 by 8 sheet as possible, leaving that 1/2 inch around the edge. We are getting to the last few steps of this project. Grab your frame and turn it over. Lift up all the black prongs carefully and remove the brown back. Set the back off to the side. Inside the frame, you will see that there is a white or black insert, depending on your frame color. Remove the insert from the frame and set the frame off to the side. If necessary, clean the glass to remove any dust or debris. Take the insert and set it around your flowers. Use the rolling stick to lift up any petals that may be stuck under the insert sides. Now, grab your Scotch tape and begin taping the 8x8 paper sheet to the insert. This allows you to lift the flowers and inserts up together when placing them into your frame. Place about a 2-inch piece of tape on the right side of each side of the insert, fixing any petals that may have shifted under the insert as you go. Tape all 4 sides and then go back around taping the left side of each side. When you have all 4 sides taped twice, grab your insert and flip your flowers and insert upside down, placing them face down into the frame. You may need to move the prongs out of the way to get the insert to drop into the frame. Place the brown back onto the flowers and insert and push down the prongs. Flip the frame over and make sure the flowers are to your liking. Make any adjustments before adding the vinyl. Grab your vinyl sheet and a card. A gift card or a credit card will work if you do not have a vinyl tool. Move your frame to the side and use your tool or card to push down the vinyl into the transfer paper in all different directions. Push firmly, but not too hard that you push the vinyl or rip the paper. This will make a better connection and allow you to pull the vinyl off the backing sheet and onto the transfer paper. Slowly begin removing the backing sheet, the white sheet with green lines, from the transfer paper, which is clear. The tighter of an angle you pull, the easier the vinyl releases. If you feel resistance, stop pulling. Locate where it is sticking and assist the vinyl off the backing sheet and onto the transfer paper. It is helpful to pull the backing in different directions so that all vinyl releases smoothly. Once you have the vinyl on the transfer paper only, grab your frame, flower and glass side up. Your goal for setting the vinyl is to get as centered as possible. This isn't an exact science, but it is beneficial to stand over your project when doing this step. Do not get the transfer paper or vinyl too close to the glass before you are ready to stick the vinyl. This is a one attempt only step, so you want to make sure that it is going to stick where you want it. My tip is to grab the transfer paper in the middle, folding the ends up to prevent them from accidentally sticking. When ready, stick the middle to the glass and push the edges out. Once the vinyl is stuck to the glass, take your card or tool and slowly push all the vinyl in different directions to ensure adherence. Take the corner of the transfer tape and slowly pull back off the vinyl. Pull at a tight angle and move in back and forth motions to release any vinyl. If the vinyl gets stuck, use the tool to push it down onto the glass again. Once the transfer paper is off of the vinyl, your rolled flower picture is complete. Congratulations, enjoy your new decor.